Hello, and welcome to today's training that is all about the wrists. So, today I am going to teach you some very simple exercises to not only strengthen your wrists, but also to increase the mobility in your wrists. Now, why should you be paying attention to your wrists and possibly increasing strength and mobility in your wrists? So, first of all, 1 in 3 women over 50 will fall and have a fracture. One of the 3 main places to have a fracture is the wrist and then the hip and the pelvis. But the wrist is literally the most common because as you fall, you tend to put your arm behind you to protect yourself. And then if your wrist can't take a lot of pressure, then you will break it. My mother did it about 10 years ago. She was just in her late 50s. She did it while just walking. She slipped, put her hand down, and then had to have some titanium plates in her wrist. So wrist injuries are extremely common. Even if you don't break it, you can just really badly sprain it. You need to have a bit of strength in your wrist just to be doing daily activities. Also, there is a lot of research coming out that your grip strength is actually a great predictor of longevity, which is really interesting too. Why should you be paying attention to mobility? Because in this world, modern world, where we spend an inordinate amount of time on the computer or on devices, our wrists are becoming really locked. A lot of people have repetitive kind of strain and injuries in their wrists, especially if they are working with a mouse. Even people that are maybe tradies and other people, like the wrists are taking a lot every single day. So it is absolutely crucial that we look after our wrists because we need to be able to use our hands till we get older. Also, if you are suffering from like arthritis, keeping the mobility going in your fingers, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, it's extremely important because once you stop moving and doing mobility in your fingers and wrists, then the arthritis will create lesions, and then you will basically lose the mobility forever. So for those of you that might be suffering from arthritis or the beginnings of it, or maybe swelling, like I've noticed that in the last few months, I sometimes get quite sore joints in my hands. Not sure why. I think it's perimenopause. So keeping them nice and mobile and lubricated is really important. So first of all, how I'm going to run this training, I'm going to teach you one movement that is by far the most potent for doing both strength and mobility. It is literally the most effective wrist movement I know. It has helped tons and tons and tons of my clients, even really active clients who need more grip strength and more wrist strength and more mobility for powerlifting, weightlifting. I coached people who are really into golf, even bikers, because there is a lot of strain on their wrists when they are riding, especially mountain bikers. So active people and also just everyday normal people. Okay. And then I will show you a little bit more advanced exercises, what you can do if you have some tools at home. But if you don't have tools, I'll show you how to work around it and use everyday objects like water bottles. Okay. So let's go and set ourselves up for the number one exercise I know for increasing hip mobility. Okay. So you're going to go on hands and knees. Yeah. So your thighs are perpendicular to the ground, and so are your arms. And you're going to really screw the shoulders in. I don't want your shoulders to come up by your ears, but I want you to compress them down. Okay. So, and then I'm going to show you from here. Your fingers are pointing perfectly forwards for now. Okay. So screw your shoulders in. And then what are we going to do? We are going to do circles with our body. Okay. So at the beginning, start with the circles being quite small. Yeah. Just suss out how much your wrists can take. But because you are doing circles, you are essentially increasing the strength and the mobility and the full range of motion. okay? Because you are going like 360. So we're going to do about 5 one way, and then we're going to reverse and go 5 the other way. Obviously, the bigger your circle, the more loading you're going to put on the wrists. Yeah? So start somewhere where it's comfortable for you. You want to feel a little bit of a stretch. You want to feel like you're working a little bit, but you don't want to stress the wrists out, okay? If you haven't been doing much strength and mobility for the wrist, then start slow, okay? Don't rush it. There is a lot of delicate tissue in the wrist, and if you challenge it too much, then you're going to end up with sore wrists, which is not what we want, okay? So we've done 5 circles one way and 5 circles the other way. What are we going to do now? We are going to turn the hands out slightly. So about 45 degrees between here and there, okay? So if I show you this way, I had my hands like this, and now I am going to put them in this position, okay? So again, place them here. Arms are still perpendicular to the ground, yeah? Screw the shoulders in, and now, again, you're going to do 5 circles, okay? Not big. Just do them somewhere where you feel like it's a little bit of a stretch. Your wrists are working, but not challenging them too much, okay? Again, do 5 each way. Obviously, you can control how big these circles are, okay? And you'll be feeling there's a lot going on in the wrists, okay? Okay, 5 circles each way. Now we're going to move the hands like a seal completely out. Okay, so now they are in this position. And again, 5 circles each way. If you want to do more than 5, do more than 5. If you can't handle 5, do 3 or 4 or 1 or 2. Okay, it's entirely up to you. You should be able to modify how much you can take it. Okay, how much you can take. Again, reverse. We're going to go both ways. Okay. Now we're going to do 45 degrees this way. Yeah? So we've gone here, there, there, and now we're going to go there. So again, sit up for it. Arms are still perpendicular to the ground. Shoulders are compressed. And then you're going to do circles here. You might find that the more back you go, the harder it will get for you. Okay? That's all right. You will get there. Just do this every other day, and in a few weeks' time, you'll notice how much easier it would be, okay? And then the last position is fingers fully towards the knees, yeah? This is probably the most challenging one, yeah? So don't be surprised if your circle is quite small here. If you go to the gym and do lots of push-ups and things like that, wrist strength would really help you, okay? Achieve better push-up and maybe go for more. Remember, the wrist is the weakest point, okay, of your arm. So if you are working out and training and you're using your arms, then know that wrists are the weakest part. I even noticed that sometimes my wrists used to get sore when I was surfing, because obviously you are in that kind of push-up position, so you are challenging your wrists too, okay? All right, so this takes a little while, but it literally is the most effective exercise I know for increasing strength and mobility in the wrists, okay? So I'll come a little bit closer. Just do a little bit of wrist release, okay? So we're just going to do circles one side because we challenge them a lot. I feel it, yeah? I did a lot of mace training yesterday too, so my wrist's a little bit tender, yeah? And then you can go infinities, yeah? So imagine infinity symbol, or I'm lying down figure 8, and then get into the wrists here and then reverse, yeah? And then go into motorbike, yeah? So motorbike position is, the exercise is, excuse me, you are pushing this part of the wrist out, yeah? So motorbike for obvious reasons, yeah? So if I show you this way, it's there. Yeah. And really push it out. Yeah. That increases the mobility beautifully too. So these are just simple mobility exercises. Okay. And then I will show you how to increase strength a little bit more. If you have a little dumbbells at home, I'm going to use a club bell because I don't have dumbbells here in my studio. But if you have little dumbbells, you can do it with dumbbells, or you can do it with a water bottle or a wine bottle. So if you imagine wine bottle or certain water bottles, they have quite narrow necks. Okay, so choose the one that has narrow neck and then comes out. You can either use them empty or you can fill them out with water to whatever weight you want. And then you hold the neck, the narrow neck in your hand. Okay. So this is a little workaround if you don't have any dumbbells or any equipment at home like that. So with your water bottle or your wine bottle or anything that you have at home, I want you to just do wrist rotations. Yeah. Side to side. And then start building a little bit of strength in these positions. So we spend a lot of time here, either typing, cooking, or writing, doing anything. We are here. But you can see that that's not our natural grip, right? Naturally, the arms are here. So every time you're using your wrists or your hands for these kind of activities, you are already in an inward rotation. And this is what we do all day long. We're just doing this. Yeah. So what you need to do, you need to counterbalance it and go the other way. Okay. So hence why going this way is so important, because you are building strength in that position and compensating for spending a lot of time in this. Okay. So just simple rotation. You can do them standing up as well. Okay. And then what you can do, you can just grab any kind of object like I said, the wine bottle, water bottle, and just hold it. Okay. Just hold it and increase the endurance and the strength in the wrist. You can go sideways as well. Yeah. So just holding something heavy or pick up something heavy, a spade or any kind of object, a heavy torch, anything that you can find at home that can give you a little bit of resistance and a little bit of weight for the wrist. Okay. You can kind of start doing some things like the arm casts as well. Yeah. If you want to kind of get a little bit more conditioning in the arm, just remember that everything is at right angles. Yeah. So I'll show you sideways too. Yeah. So you're going to start with the elbow to your ribs, and you can do this standing too. And then you just cast the club bell or whatever you have at home behind your head. But even holding it is incredibly beneficial. Okay. I hope you found these exercises useful. It is absolutely vital that you do work on your wrist mobility and your wrist strength. As I said, is the weakest part of your body. It is the place that gets fractured the most, and you can avoid yourself a lot of pain and injuries and recovery time in the future if you put a little bit of work into the wrists right now. I think a lot of people kind of forget the wrists unless you are a powerlifter or a weightlifter. Those are the people that I often coach, and they come to me specifically for wrist and grip strength. But if you just kind of casual exerciser, then I know that wrists are often forgotten in the exercise routine. So here are really simple exercises that will only take you 5-10 minutes. Do it twice, 3 times a week, and you'll notice that your strength and your mobility in your wrists will be increasing and you will feel less pain. I ran a workshop last weekend, and a lot of women there were complaining of sore wrists, and they noticed how limited their mobility was. Okay, so if you want to test your mobility, if you go on hands and knees and back the shoulders, you should be able to go reasonably forward. Yeah. Some people can't even achieve like a perpendicular, like a right angle here. Yeah. But if you're doing push-ups or want to do some exercises, you really need the mobility. If you're a surfer, you will need the mobility here, because if you are here because of lack of mobility, your biomechanics are going to be completely wrong. Yeah, so you should be able to go significantly forward on your arms. Okay, so take this as a bit of a goal of what you're going to hopefully work on. And if you have any questions, just put them in the chat box. If you're watching on YouTube, then just put the comments in and I will answer them. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you next week for some more awesome mobility and strength training.